Good day, guys. On today's episode, Windows and NVIDIA posted this. So, a new era of PC with some figures which appears to be coordinates in Taiwan, Taipei. That is Computex, among the biggest tech events in the world. So, NVIDIA and Microsoft dropped the biggest Computex 2026 teaser, a new era of PC. And from this, all signs point to NVIDIA's long-rumored N1 and N1X ARM processors finally being unveiled. Microsoft partnered with NVIDIA and ARM chip, because three of them both share the teaser, hinting at major collaboration. Why this matters? ARM-based chips are built for Windows laptops. Blackwell GPU architecture integrated on chip, faster on-device AI and co-pilot experiences, potentially huge battery life gains, gaming performance that could challenge traditional x86 laptops, and direct competition for Intel, AMD, Qualcomm, and even Apple's M series Max. It is going to be happening, I think, June 1st to 2nd, or throughout that week. That is next week from Monday. It's anticipated with Jensen Huang's keynote kicking off. A lot of new NVIDIA products set to be launched. But I think this is going to be very important for Windows. Okay, these are my takes. Windows primarily has been losing a lot of reputation since the launch of Windows 11. I think Windows 10 was the last great Windows for Windows users. So they have lost a lot of reputation with Windows 11 and also with the hardware, because Apple left Intel, I think 2020 to 2021, and started using their own ARM-based chip, the M series, and that has been a huge success for them and also in the computing world, by also stealing a lot of market share for the Apple-based silicon, and Windows haven't been able to recover in those particular time. Why is this great news for Windows? Snapdragon recently tried entering into the ARM-based chipset for Windows computer by dropping the Snapdragon X Elite, and it would not be like it's a failure or a success, but I think this was what Windows was looking forward. A major player trying and putting out something there. So I think Snapdragon have done fairly enough, but they're not yet there, because so after the X Elite 2 chipset was out, you can also see that there has been a single a much improved performance and efficiency. I think they have tried in the efficiency for Windows as a operating system, closing the gap, because I know that at least within like 12, 13 hours for battery life with some of the laptops which was using Snapdragon, compared to the previous Intel systems which barely reached 12 hours. But in terms of performance, I think that's the issue with Snapdragon Elite. They haven't been there close to Apple in terms of performance, but they are closing on efficiency, power efficiency for Windows. And normal Windows is a type of operating system that I think is much heavier than the Mac OS. So Mac OS is more power efficient, and the chipsets are also power efficient. I think that is where Apple is leading. So I think Windows in their new announcements, if they are going to work on a ARM chipset with NVIDIA, after already watching how Snapdragon have already set the foundation, two things to come into the race and create a good competition is by also releasing or announcing a new Windows later this year or early next year with much more power efficient structure or architecture. Then why also announces an chip with a lot of support, because the X86 has a lot of Windows support, and that's why it's very hard to beat it if you're going to move it to ARM, just as Snapdragon just tested. So I think that are the two things Microsoft needs to do: better chipset and better Windows. And I think they can start regaining their self in the computer world back.